Ever wonder why your perfectly packed carry-on got rejected at security last month? Think you know what you can pack in 2025? Wrong. The packing rules have changed dramatically, and what airlines aren't telling you could cost you hundreds in checked bag fees, confiscated medications, and missed connections. We're exposing 7 packing secrets that could save your next trip. Let's go. You've been packing the same way for years, confident in your carry-on routine, but 2025 has brought hidden rule changes that are catching seniors off guard at security checkpoints. The airlines are profiting from your confusion, and the cost of packing mistakes has never been higher. The medication packing trap. Nobody warned you about. Here's what they don't tell you about packing medications in 2025. The rules have become a minefield that could leave you without essential prescriptions at your destination. Liquid medications over 3.4 ounces are technically allowed, but there's a catch that TSA doesn't advertise. Your liquid medications must be separated from other carry-on items and declared as medically necessary at security. But here's the shocking part. If TSA can't resolve screening alarms on your medications, they have the right to confiscate them entirely. That means your essential heart medication or insulin could be thrown away if it triggers their equipment. Recent TSA data shows that medication-related delays have increased by 47% in 2025 as new screening technology creates more false alarms. Seniors are bearing the brunt because we typically travel with more medications than younger passengers. The industry hopes you never find out this insider secret. Pack a letter from your doctor or pharmacist explaining your medical needs. While not required, this documentation can prevent hours of delays and reduce the risk of confiscation. Also, always pack extra medications in your checked bag as backup, because security agents can and will throw away medications they can't properly screen. For diabetic supplies, the packing rules are even more complex. Insulin pens, syringes, and testing supplies must be easily accessible for declaration, but they can't be buried in your bag. Pack them in a clear, separate bag with your glucometer and testing strips. Insulin pumps require special handling and must remain attached during screening, but TSA agents may not know proper procedures. The liquid packing conspiracy that's costing you money. The 311 liquid rule seems simple, but the 2025 enforcement has become brutal. Each traveler gets exactly 1 quart-sized bag for liquids, and TSA is no longer showing mercy for oversized containers or extra bags. What they're not telling you is that the container size matters more than the liquid amount inside. Your half-empty 6-ounce shampoo bottle will be confiscated even though it contains less liquid than a full 3.4-ounce container. This technicality is generating millions in confiscated items that TSA later sells at government auctions. Airlines love this because it forces you to buy overpriced toiletries at your destination or pay checked bag fees. But here's the kicker. New CT scanners at major airports have created exemptions that most travelers don't know about. 11 categories of items are now exempt from the 311 rule, including duty-free purchases made within 48 hours, biological samples, and certain food items. The problem? These exemptions only apply at airports with the new technology, creating a lottery system where your packing success depends on which airport you're using. Hand sanitizer still falls under the 3.4-ounce rule and must fit in your quart bag, despite health recommendations to carry more. The solution most seniors miss. Pack sanitizing wipes instead, which have no liquid restrictions and often work better for cleaning airplane surfaces. The carry-on size deception that's emptying your wallet. Airlines claim the standard carry-on size is 22 inches x 14 inches x 9. But they're not telling you about the new enforcement methods that are catching thousands of travelers. Automated sizing machines at major airports are far less forgiving than the old metal sizers, and a bag that's even slightly oversized will trigger forced checking fees. These machines measure every dimension, including wheels and handles, and they're calibrated to be stricter than before. A carry-on that worked fine last year might now exceed limits due to wear, expansion, or measurement methods. The forced checking fees range from $35 to $150, depending on the airline and destination. But the most infuriating part is weight enforcement. While most domestic airlines don't list weight limits, they're now requiring that passengers lift their bags into overhead bins unassisted. For seniors with limited upper body strength, This creates an impossible situation where your bag meets size requirements, but you physically can't comply with loading requirements. Flight attendants are increasingly refusing to help with bag loading, citing safety policies. If you can't lift your bag, they'll force you to check it at the gate for fees up to $75. The airlines profit twice, once from the fee and again from the checked bag processing markup. Smart packing means staying well under size limits to account for measurement variations and choosing bags with 4 wheels that roll rather than lift. Distribute weight to a personal item that goes under the seat, where size restrictions are more generous at 18 inches x 14 inches x 8. The medical device packing minefield. Packing medical devices has become increasingly complex, with hidden rules that could strand you without essential equipment. CPAP machines, oxygen concentrators, and mobility aids have specific packing requirements that airlines don't clearly communicate until you're at the airport. CPAP machines must be removed from carrying cases for separate X-ray screening, and the associated tubing and masks may require additional inspection. What they don't tell you is that these devices don't count against carry-on limits, but they must fit in overhead bins or under seats. Some aircraft configurations can't accommodate larger medical devices, forcing last-minute gate checking. Portable oxygen concentrators require FAA approval and must have enough battery power for 150% of flight duration, including delays. The airlines require advance notification, but they don't explain that certain POC models aren't allowed on specific aircraft types. Arriving at the gate with an incompatible device means you can't board. Mobility aids like walkers and wheelchairs can be gate checked for free, but airlines aren't liable for damage beyond basic repair or replacement. Expensive custom equipment or electronic features may not be covered. Always document your equipment's condition with photos before travel and pack essential components separately. The most shocking part, medical devices that alarm during screening may require disassembly for inspection, potentially damaging delicate equipment. TSA agents aren't trained on all medical devices, and their inspection methods can cause malfunctions that leave you stranded. The food packing rules. They keep changing. Food packing rules in 2025 have become unpredictably complex, with inconsistent enforcement that varies by airport and agent. Solid foods are generally allowed, but the definition of solid has become subjective and confusing. Spreadable items like peanut butter, cream cheese, and jam now fall under liquid restrictions, meaning they must be 3.4 ounces or smaller and fit in your quart bag. But enforcement varies wildly. One airport might allow your homemade cookies, while another confiscates them for containing spreadable chocolate chips. Fresh fruits and vegetables face additional restrictions based on destination. Domestic flights have fewer restrictions, but certain items like citrus fruits or potatoes may be prohibited to specific states due to agricultural regulations. TSA agents often aren't familiar with these rules, leading to arbitrary confiscations. Frozen items present particular challenges for seniors who pack special dietary foods. Ice packs to keep medications cool are allowed, but must be completely frozen at screening. Partially melted ice packs will be confiscated, potentially compromising temperature-sensitive medications. The timing becomes critical. Too early and they melt, too late and you're rushing through security. Baby food and nutrition drinks for medical purposes are exempt from liquid restrictions, but enforcement requires declaration and additional screening. Many seniors don't realize that medical nutrition drinks qualify for this exemption, instead wasting space in their quart bags or leaving essential nutrition behind. The electronic device packing nightmare. Electronic device rules have multiplied in complexity, with new restrictions that particularly impact seniors who rely on multiple medical and communication devices. Laptops and tablets must be easily accessible for screening, but the definition of easily accessible has become stricter. Devices buried in bags or wrapped in clothing will trigger bag searches and delays. TSA now requires that all electronics larger than a cell phone be placed in separate bins, including e-readers, portable DVD players, and medical monitoring devices. For seniors carrying multiple devices, this creates a juggling act at security that often results in forgotten items or delays. Power banks and portable chargers face new restrictions after several in-flight fire incidents. These devices can no longer be packed in checked luggage and must remain in carry-on bags. However, many airlines now prohibit their use during flight and require storage under seats rather than overhead bins. Some airlines have banned certain power bank models entirely. The most concerning development, lithium battery restrictions have expanded to include medical devices. Devices with lithium batteries may require special documentation or may be prohibited entirely on certain flights. Seniors with pacemakers, hearing aids, or other battery-powered medical devices could face unexpected packing restrictions. Charging cables and adapters must be organized for easy screening, as tangled cords trigger additional inspection. Pack electronics in easily accessible compartments and ensure all devices are charged, as dead devices may be prohibited from boarding. The hidden fee trap in carry-on. Packing. The biggest packing secret airlines don't want you to know. They've designed the rules to generate fees, not for security. Every restriction, every size limitation, every weight requirement is calculated to push travelers toward paid services. Basic economy fares increasingly restrict carry-on allowances, with some airlines now allowing only personal items. Your standard carry-on bag that's worked for years might now require an upgrade fee or checked bag charge. These restrictions hit seniors particularly hard because we often travel with medical supplies and comfort items that exceed personal item size limits. Oversized carry-on fees have doubled at many airlines, with some charging up to $200 for gate-checked bags. The automated sizing machines are calibrated to catch borderline cases that previously would have been allowed. Your bag doesn't need to be dramatically oversized. Even a fraction of an inch over limits will trigger fees. The most infuriating part, fee structures change frequently, and airlines don't always update their websites immediately. A bag that met requirements when you booked might violate new rules by travel time. Always check current restrictions within 48 hours of departure, not when booking weeks or months ahead. Weight limits, while not always published, are being enforced more strictly. If you can't lift your bag into the overhead bin, you'll pay gate checking fees regardless of size compliance. This particularly impacts seniors with mobility limitations or reduced strength. The personal care item. Classification scam airlines have quietly reclassified common personal care items to force more purchases and fees. What you've always considered personal care necessities are now being treated as luxury items or subjected to confusing new restrictions that vary by airline and even by flight crew. Contact lens solution represents the perfect example of this classification chaos. Your daily contact solution must follow the 3-1-1 rule, but airlines don't tell you that travel-size containers often cost 3 times more per ounce than regular bottles. They're counting on you not doing the math. A 2-ounce travel bottle costs $4, while a 12-ounce regular bottle costs $8, meaning you're paying 650% markup for convenience. Even worse, saline solution for contact lenses is treated differently than saline for wound care or nasal irrigation. Medical saline can exceed 3.4 ounces with proper declaration, but contact saline cannot. TSA agents rarely understand these distinctions, leading to arbitrary enforcement where identical products get different treatment based on labeling. Denture care products face similar arbitrary rules. Denture cleaner tablets are fine, but denture adhesive cream counts as a liquid and must fit in your quart bag. Denture soaking solutions over 3.4 ounces will be confiscated, forcing seniors to either pack multiple small containers or go without proper dental care during travel. The classification extends to mobility aids and comfort items. Compression stockings are allowed, but the gel inserts that provide pain relief might be confiscated as liquids. Arthritis pain relief creams count against your liquid allowance, while oral pain medications don't. These distinctions aren't based on security logic, but on generating maximum inconvenience and fees. The seasonal packing rule changes. Nobody announces airlines and TSA implement seasonal rule modifications that they don't publicize, creating a moving target for consistent packing. These changes supposedly address seasonal security concerns but really serve to keep travelers confused and generate additional revenue through violations. Winter travel brings hidden restrictions on items seniors commonly pack. Hand warmers and heating pads face new scrutiny due to their chemical components. Disposable hand warmers contain iron powder that can trigger explosive detection equipment, leading to bag searches and potential confiscation. Reusable heat packs with gel contents count as liquids and must fit in your quart bag, despite their medical necessity for arthritis and circulation issues. Cold weather medications see increased restrictions during flu season. Liquid cough medicines, nasal sprays, and throat lozenges face enhanced screening that can add 15-20 minutes to security processing. The seasonal enforcement creates unpredictable delays that can cause missed connections, particularly for seniors who need extra time navigating airports. Summer travel brings its own hidden restrictions. Sunscreen enforcement becomes stricter, with TSA treating spray sunscreens as aerosols subject to additional rules. Solid sunscreen sticks are allowed, but many seniors prefer lotions that must fit in the limited quart bag space. Aloe vera gel for sunburn treatment counts as a liquid, forcing difficult choices between sun protection and burn treatment. Holiday travel periods see arbitrary enforcement of gift restrictions. Wrapped presents must be unwrapped for screening, but TSA doesn't clearly communicate which items can be rewrapped versus those that must remain open. Seniors traveling with gifts for grandchildren face the heartbreak of destroyed wrapping or confiscated items that seemed perfectly innocent. The international packing rule trap. Connecting through international airports creates a packing nightmare with conflicting rules that change mid-journey. Items allowed on your outbound flight might be prohibited on your return, and duty-free purchases can become worthless depending on your connection airports. European airports have stricter liquid restrictions that remain in place despite US changes. Your 11 exempt items from new CT scanners won't be recognized in most international airports, meaning the same packing strategy that works domestically will fail internationally. This forces seniors to either pack for the most restrictive rules or risk having items confiscated mid-journey. Prescription medication rules vary dramatically by country. Some nations require original prescription bottles with translated labels, while others prohibit certain common medications entirely. Your perfectly legal arthritis medication might be considered a controlled substance in your destination country, resulting in arrest rather than just confiscation. The most sinister aspect? Airlines don't warn you about these international variations when booking. They profit from confused travelers who must purchase replacements at inflated airport prices or pay additional fees for last-minute checked bags to accommodate confiscated items. The accessibility packing rights. You don't know you have. Seniors with disabilities have specific packing rights that airlines and TSA rarely explain, leading to unnecessary compliance with restrictions that don't actually apply. The Americans with Disabilities Act provides exemptions that could save money and stress, but you must know to request them. Medication refrigeration rights extend beyond what most seniors realize. Ice packs for medication cooling are allowed in any quantity when properly declared, but TSA agents often don't know this rule. You can pack multiple ice packs, gel cooling packs, and even dry ice with proper documentation. Airlines must provide refrigeration assistance for essential medications, but they don't volunteer this service. Mobility aid accommodations go far beyond basic wheelchairs and walkers. Seat cushions, back supports, and positioning devices don't count against carry-on limits when properly documented as medical necessities. The key is obtaining a letter from your healthcare provider that specifically identifies items as medical equipment rather than comfort accessories. Communication device protections cover more than hearing aids. Voice amplifiers, communication boards, and even tablets loaded with communication apps qualify for special handling that bypasses normal electronics restrictions. These devices can stay with you during screening rather than going through X-ray machines. The airlines profit from your ignorance of these rights because each accommodation they deny forces you to pay for services or upgrades. Knowing your legal protections transforms packing from a guessing game into strategic preparation. Conclusion. So there you have it. 7 packing traps designed to cost you money and stress in 2025. The travel industry profits from your confusion, turning every packing mistake into revenue through fees, delays, and forced purchases. The airlines don't want you knowing these secrets because prepared travelers cost them money. Armed with this information, you can pack smart, avoid the fees, and travel with confidence despite their attempts to complicate the process. The most shocking revelation: most packing problems are completely avoidable with the right knowledge. Pack medications properly, understand the real liquid rules, and don't let the industry profit from your confusion. What surprised you most? The medication trap, the sizing deception, or the hidden fees? Share your worst packing experience below and subscribe for more insider secrets they don't want you to know. We're exposing how the travel industry really works.